Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We've got Van.
My hobby is looking at dead bodies and saying, it's Jamie, all right.
We've got Greg.
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
Wait, was that your Kermit voice?
Yes, what's the problem?
Hold on, do it again.
Have you tried Hare Krishna?
Okay, that's all right. I get it. That's pretty good.
It's the Some of My Friends Read Comics show with Kia.
Yeah, I'm Kia. Welcome to the show. We're reading some Kermit the Frog comics today.
I do like the Muppet Show comic by Roger Langridge. It's pretty good.
I don't think I've...
Check it out.
Maybe I did read that. Yeah. No, we're not reading... We got a little cameo from Kermit the Frog in these comics today, but we are reading X Factor. The run that was made famous, I think, by Peter David for the most part. I don't remember what X Factor even was before that, but he took over with issue 70.
Originally, to answer your question.
Yeah.
X Factor was when they brought Jean Grey back because recently deceased editor-in-chief said we need to bring Jean back. Jim Shooter. They created a new book that was not written by Chris Claremont. At the time, he was writing every X book. He's writing New Mutants and X-Men and Wolverine, which we covered. But they made a new book with Jean Grey and the original 4 X-Men that aren't Jean Grey. And it was Walt Simonson and Louise Simonson that started with it. It was sort of like they started as like a fake Ghostbusters thing where they were going to catch mutants, but secretly they liked mutants. And very immediately the wheels fall off that, and it just becomes a book about the Cyclops and the original X-Men.
Well, all right.
But how would I know that if I'm like buying comics? Because I remember like seeing like X-Men comics like on the shelf after the cartoon, and I'm like, well, I know Uncanny X-Men's like the big book, but I don't recognize any of these characters right now. And I'm basically just looking for the one with Wolverine and the one with Nightcrawler.
Yeah, again, these guys weren't in. This was where Archangel is created, where Angel gets metal wings from Apocalypse. Beast becomes friends with a robot ship, and all of that stuff happens. But mostly it was a C-tier X book that was not written by Chris Claremont and was not important. So it was mostly bad.
But it makes it 70 issues for then Peter David to take up?
Yes.
So it takes like 6 years? Wow.
Yes. And it does. I mean, it is an important part of Inferno and different crossovers, the Siege Perilous and all that stuff. So it basically just lives because of crossovers for 6 years.
All right. But yeah, then Peter David takes over in issue number 70, which is kind of the finale to a big crossover event. So we're not reading that one. And we're jumping into issues 71 through 75.
Which
5
involves
issues.
Genosha, which does tie into this storyline, which if you're confused about why like Rain is crazy, it's because of Genosha stuff.
Okay. Then we're also reading number 87, which is a fun psychiatry issue, just kind of jumping forward a little bit. And then we are continuing our long read of Thunderbolts number 24. Is this the end of our long read? Find out at the end. But for right now, X Factor number 71. Any other preamble we need to talk about? I guess Peter David passed away recently, right?
R.I.P.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been a tough. Both Jim Shooter and Peter David have passed away in the past year.
Yeah. And I always really liked his stuff. It took us a while to read anything of his, but we read his Hulk Future Imperfect a while back. And I read a lot of his like 2000s kind of reboots of X Factor and Madrox and all that, and plenty of his other stuff here and there.
Spider-Man
He also
2099.
he did Spider-Man 2099.
Spider-Man 2099.
He did Young Justice at DC.
Oh, cool.
And Supergirl.
Yeah, I always felt he was like one of like the more like fun comic writers. Like he wasn't very dour. It was always like you know how we talk about like Kurt Busiek, or I guess we haven't really mentioned Paul Jenkins much on this show, but just kind of like, or Mark Waid, like one of the like more classic writers that still like has like a lot of fun with like and bright color comics. Like that's always what I felt like he was in the 2000s.
I always thought of him as like a funnier Mark Waid.
Right, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like their writing is kind of similar in a way, but yeah, funnier Mark Waid. I like that. Uh,
He of course, so in Marvel the Untold Story, he worked on the advertising side of Marvel in the 80s, and so it created a bunch of enemies. So he had a bunch of people who rooted against him and didn't like him because he was on the corporate side. That I think always kind of like gave him a chip on his shoulder as he became a writer in the 80s and 90s.
okay.
Interesting.
All right. Well, let's get into it here. We start off with one of the new members of the team, or they're not a team yet. They're kind of there's no X Factor team at the moment. And did they even call themselves X Factor in the first 70 issues? I don't know that they did. Maybe they did.
At some point, I'm sure they did, but at a certain point, they're just like, this is just the X-Men. Who cares?
Yeah, yeah. But this first issue is just kind of building up a new team here. We've got Guido, who is going to be known as Strong Guy later. He hasn't picked a name yet, but he's talking to Lorna Dane, Polaris. She's a green-haired mutant who is she Magneto's daughter or not? I can't remember where they ended with that.
Like currently, yes, I believe.
Okay.
It's gone back and forth a few times.
Was this where they revealed in Age of Apocalypse that she was actually Magneto's daughter, or was that somebody else?
She, yes, in Age of Apocalypse, I think she is, but like I said, it's gone back and forth.
Okay.
She originally thought she was because she has magnetic powers. They're like, no, you're actually not, and then they're like, oh, actually, you are. So it's one of those deals. It's before even the Marvel confusion with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
I was going to ask
2000s.
about that. Yeah. Where we land with them? Are they Magneto's kids?
I think so.
I couldn't tell you today. I think they are.
Yeah, I think they are too, but I wouldn't be surprised if they said no, because I remember they were like, we want to make movies with these two, but we don't want to connect to the X-Men.
They were able to share them between they were in both the X-Men and the Fox X-Men and the Disney Marvel movies.
Yes.
And then Evan Peters showed up to play Quicksilver in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Which was very weird, but that was a fake out, which is kind of BS. But but Quicksilver's in this book just later, so that's not completely.
Yeah, he is.
Well,
he's in this first issue.
So wait, then Quicksilver and Polaris are brother and sister then? Maybe
yes.
half brother and half sister?
Yes, half brother and half sister.
Yeah. All right.
They don't appear to know that.
Nope. So Guido, Strong Guy, is talking to Polaris about her history with Alex Summers, Havoc, the brother of Cyclops.
A lot of siblings.
A lot of siblings going on here. And just like they've got a romantic history, but they're not quite sure if Polaris isn't sure if they're going to be together at this point with, I guess, the recent big event and whatever. Also, Guido is trying to get a mayo jar open, and he can't.
Yeah, real high stakes comic. Let's start our new team with a real high stakes battle against a mayo jar.
And he says you need any Grey Poupon, even though they treat it like it's a mayo jar. It's mustard.
Well, I think he says, "Do you have any Grey Poupon?"
Yes.
And they do. And I think he puts Grey Poupon on his sandwich, but he also wants mayo.
He can't get the mayo. Yeah.
Can't get the mayo open.
Which I just love it. I think that's really funny. Also, like the Grey Poupon joke is such like a. Was that what we just did in the 90s? Was just like quote commercials at each other? Is that what we did before Anchorman existed? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of dated references in this book, but they're still pretty good. You know what I mean?
I love them. I think they're so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know these are like 35-year-old references. Like these are so good.
Yep.
They were writing for us as children, so it hits still.
Exactly.
Who's this third guy sitting at the table? Is that Madrox?
Yep.
Multiple Man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
He's sitting there. He's barely saying anything.
Because then he brings in another multiple man to try to open it up. Which, honestly, like in terms of like, I heard like when like Force Awakens came out, they kept delaying like Luke Skywalker showing up because once Luke Skywalker shows up, nobody gives a shit about the other characters. So I think it's very important that we don't show off like Alex Summers or like the characters or Quicksilver, the people you know first, because like we got to know that we care about these characters first. And I'm joking about the mayo jar, but actually is demonstrating all of their powers like really well. like in a very low stakes way, like the strong guy, why can't he open it? That's weird, but that's his power. And then the multiple man brings out multiple dudes to try to open the mayo jar at the same time. Like I feel like that's really elegant writing to demonstrate like who are all these characters and why should you care about them? Because that's the problem. Anytime I get into a team book, I'm like, I don't know who to latch onto, and I don't know who all these people are. They all have distinctive looks, and they have distinctive things they do, and it's telling me that very quickly. I do like that.
I also like Guido's a little bit of a shithead. He's hitting on Polaris, and he's like, "Well, if it doesn't work out with Alex," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Hey, I'm just a '90s guy. I say what's on my mind." I like that quote.
That was his quote in I think it was his I don't remember which version, but on his trading card, that was his quote. Just a 90s guy like me says what he feels.
Over in Genosha, Alex Summers is over there working on maybe rebuilding things or something. Wolfsbane, her name is Rain. She's there. Rahne, Rain.
I mean, you know this because you watched the New Mutants movie that came out 5 years ago, right?
No, I did not. Absolutely not.
What?
Nope. What? I saw the new Superman. Was she in that?
It was the biggest hit of 2020.
Well, first of all, Bad Boys 3 was the highest grossing movie of the year. Thank you very much. But
it wasn't just dumped in the middle of a pandemic and made $0.
I do feel like Arya Stark is good casting for her, though.
It's perfect casting. Yeah. It really is good. Like that whole, because then they had Anya Taylor-Joy as Magic. Like that movie had great casting. It was also not good. It had the kid from Stranger Things, the teenage boy.
Yeah.
Like the cool guy. He was Cannonball. So it had good casting. That was not the problem.
I might check out that movie one of these days.
It's kind of a horror movie. We're almost to that season. It's almost spooky season.
Yeah.
So because the whole thing,
your stupid minds. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah.
Because the whole thing is that what's her name? The Native American character has fear powers. Yes, and the bear is there. So it's all setting up that storyline.
Yeah, when we read New Mutants forever ago.
Yeah. So it's kind of a horror movie, even though it's not really.
So who's all right? We also have Valerie Cooper there hanging out with Alex Summers. Who is Val Cooper? She's not a mutant. She's
Valerie
just
Cooper
like
hanging with Mrs. Cooper or Miss Cooper.
She's like a liaison of some sort.
Yes, she's the government liaison for the team. She's not a mutant or anything, but she's kind of like the government head in charge of the team.
But she's not like a Guy Ritchie style liaison who's an asshole. She's like a good liaison.
She's your Dallas Reardon. We need a girl with no powers to be the government liaison for this super team. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's like a mothering thing or if they just like, well, we got to have a depowered person. But also because I just saw Thunderbolts and their kind of government person is Val, I'm just going to merge these two people together in my head.
That's rude. Because that's the Nick Fury character, right? Is who you're thinking of.
Yeah. What is it? Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Valerie. She's like a Madam Hydra or something, right? Valeria. DeFontaine.
Valerie Day. Yeah. But that's a Nick Fury character from the '60s that then became a bigger character. So, but yes, it's a government character who is now part of the team. But I also feel like she's there to just kind of like be like I don't know, like kind of a complication, but not like an antagonist, where it's kind of like, is she going to be in some sort of love triangle? Like, is she like, what's her job? It's unclear from this first issue.
Dallas Reardon. Yeah. That's what I'm going to call her.
Vallis Reardon?
As opposed to Dallas Reardon.
That's pretty good. We also kind of start to get hints that Wolfsbane, Rain, has a crush on Havoc. There's like some falling construction or whatever, and she saves Havoc from it and doesn't really worry about trying to save Valerie Cooper.
Yeah, this is the Genosha storyline. They were like, I guess, brainwashed, and both of them were in Genosha. Watch the season 1 episode of X-Men to learn more about Genosha. Don't worry about it. But yeah, she loves Alex. Alex is not really interested in her.
So they're hanging out, and then I guess they're at a hotel or wherever they're staying, and Cyclops and Professor X show up, and they're like, "Hey, we really want you to lead a new team, X Factor. Wouldn't that be great?" Okay. Um, and so he starts heading back to America. Um, Quicksilver also starts showing up with Lockjaw, teleporting around. He's
Friend
looking
of
a
the
little bit
show.
older. Yeah, Lockjaw, friend of the show. That dog from the Inhumans who can teleport around. And he's just looking for X
We
Factor.
love him, folks.
Yep. Someone has apparently turned Quicksilver's powers against him, and it's killing him, but we don't really know what's going on there.
Yeah, so his metabolism, I guess, is off the chart, so he's aging every time he uses his powers.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I feel like there's a retcon here because Lockjaw, at some point they said Lockjaw was a human trapped in a dog's body. I think I remember reading that at some point, and
I don't know nothing about that.
I think they tried to retcon that by just saying that the Thing was drunk and joking with one of the characters when he told them that, because otherwise, it was like, no, that was just the Thing fucking with you guys. That's not true. He's not a dog. He's not a human inside a dog's body, and that's how we're gonna get out of that stupid idea.
I do like that retcon because yes, it should just be a dog.
They're all trying to get the jar open. Everyone's using their powers on it, and then Val Cooper, with no powers, finally gets it open. And we see Madrox, multiple man, Jamie. He's holed up in some room somewhere, and he's talking about how it was a prank jar and how it was like he had the remote to like release it to let it get opened. All right. He's a prankster, I guess. And then someone shows up at his door and shoots him dead. Oh no. We're starting with the death of Multiple Man. Oh my god. But how can this be? I read his 2000s series.
I feel like they go to that a lot. There's the Multiple Man has been murdered.
Oh no.
I do like this issue. I think it's a really like tight issue. It's setting up a couple mysteries all at once. It's like, what's up with Quicksilver's powers? I guess we have a government team, and then somebody murdered a Madrox, like a Multiple Man. Like we're off to the races already. There's several things that I have to latch onto. I think the Mayo jar was pretty funny. So like I'm on board with this book. I think in terms of like an X-Men team book from the 90s, this is a very clean first issue.
Yeah. And honestly, it doesn't feel very much like an X-Men book, even as we keep going, like just because it has X-Men characters, sure, but it just feels like a regular kind of superhero team book, and they happen to be mutants, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it starts well, though. I feel like I think we read like X-Force around the same time, and that was a kind of a harder one for me to get into. And then X-Statics, I think, was pretty quick for me to get into the team. And they were a similar like team built by committee. That was pretty good.
Yeah. So into the next issue, number 72, Val Cooper is seeing all this stuff about a dead body on the news, and she's realizing it's Jamie Madrox. They're hanging out in, this is like Guido's penthouse, because he's rich from when his parents died, and he sued the satellite company that crushed them or something like that. And then he worked for Lila Cheney, a rock star, as a bodyguard.
Yes. Mutant rock star.
Mutant rock star.
Not Dazzler, though.
No. Separate mutant rock star.
Okay.
She's in Age of Apocalypse, which we'll get around to reading. Never.
Yeah. So the team goes out to check out the body, and that's where your quote came from there, Vince. And they're all surprised when Jamie just shows up behind them. He's like, "Hey guys." We then get a little cutaway to Professor Vic Chalker, who I assumed at this point was the villain behind the whole thing. He's a pale old doctor of some sort. He's watching them and he hates mutants. I'm going to say this now, he doesn't really come into play very much throughout the rest of this. We'll see little vignettes of him working on whatever he's working on, but he almost turns into more comic relief of like a fail. We'll get to it.
He's like the bad guy. He's not. This issue makes it seem like he might be like the dude in the shadows behind it all, but he ends up being like the kind of like the doctor in like the Phineas and Ferb, the bad guy, who's just like off doing his own schemes that never really impacts anybody. I think he makes a robot suit that's too small for him. So he can't fit into it. Like that kind of gags. He's like, next time I'll fucking get X Factor, but not right now. I gotta fix my suit. And then I think he like doesn't do like the battery power. I'm just gonna burn through it right now. We don't need to come back.
He's building a giant robot. We see that in little bits and pieces throughout these 5 issues. And he doesn't meet the team or anything
every time like he's like, oh shit, I didn't put a big enough battery in this thing. I'll get them next time. it just continues that way. It's good. It's really fun. It zags. I appreciate it.
Yes, it is a good parody of just like a bad X-Men villain.
So Multiple Man is talking to everybody. It says he created, like he heard a knock at the door, so he created a dupe to answer the door. And the dupe died. And he tries to reabsorb the body, but he can't. And he can't figure out why. And it's kind of fucking him up because he's like, oh my God, I produced a corpse out of myself. What the hell? He's like, do these things have souls? What's going on? And he's like, this is in public while they're trying to like load up the body into the ambulance, and they're like, oh, is that guy hysterical? And Lorna is like, no, he wasn't hysterical. He was beside himself. And I really like that wordplay. I thought that was great wordplay. There's some great wordplay throughout this book. Alex and Lorna go save some burning building. Val holds a press conference introducing the new X Factor. We got Madrox, Multiple Man is his name. We got Polaris, we got Havoc, we got Wolfsbane, and we got Quicksilver. And Guido introduces his new name, which is Strong Guy, and everyone hates the name. Then we get some questions.
I do like that Quicksilver refuses to wear a costume. This whole thing. Everybody else has matching.
He wears his regular costume.
Yeah.
And people are asking like, what's the costume? And they're like, they're optional. It's fine.
And I don't like Multiple Man's costume.
Multiple Man's costume with the head thing. I don't like that head cover costume that goes all the way over your hair on anybody. I think Havoc typically has that too.
When Cyclops has it, I don't like that. I like it when his hair is out.
Did we mention the love triangle stuff that happens in this issue?
There's a little bit during the burning building, right? Yes. Rain's got to think for Alex. What happened there?
There's just like Havoc and Polaris kind of bond, and she says, that took a lot of confidence in me, Alex. And he's like, leap of faith, lover. And Rain is like, lover. Ugh.
So then we get some questions from the crowd. It's a lot of typical mutant hating stuff. But then there's a question from a guy who says he's Jamie Madrox. He's Multiple Man. And he's like, who is this imposter on the team? All right. So on to the next issue. There's some guy in his car listening to a Weird Al song on the radio because Weird Al songs play on the radio.
We didn't mention there was also a Simpsons reference in the last issue. So now there's a Weird Al. Yeah, they said don't have a cow.
Oh, okay.
Well, the Weird Al on the radio covering a They Might Be Giants song, which I also don't feel like... Weird Al doesn't do They Might Be Giants songs. Like he's not going to cover a comedy song. And Particle Man is like comedy adjacent. I don't see that happening.
So Particle Man parodied into Multiple Man.
Yep.
Peter David, this is where I call this is the most unrealistic thing in this comic about a guy who gets bigger when you punch him and another dude who turns into multiple dudes when you punch him. The Weird Al thing, I draw the line.
That would actually never happen. Weird Al would never cover that.
I drew the line with Weird Al on the radio. I feel like no radio station would play Weird Al.
He just checked out then. He's like, I don't even care what song it is.
Weird Al's why is that radio station playing a parody of Particle Man about a member of the X-Men? Like that, I think the X-Men are too hated to be that big of whatever. Weird Al wouldn't even write a song about. I don't think Multiple Man is a big enough X-Man for Weird Al to write a song about him. Wow. You know? Like if he was going to do a multiple man parody, there's plenty of other superheroes he could have chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, he did
Or
some
Particle Man.
80s parodies of stuff that wasn't exactly huge hits.
It's okay. That's fair.
It's a different time.
Yep. Anyways, this guy's in his car listening to the radio, and the multiple man fight goes onto his windshield. And we kind of flash back a little bit to see what happened. This guy in the crowd is claiming to be the original, saying that, hey, this is just a dupe he made. And what's he doing joining the team? And they start fighting. And every time they punch each other, they split up into a bunch of dupes. So there's like 20 of each of them. There's like a costumed multiple man and a plainclothes multiple man. 20 of each fighting each other. They fight over into a Jim Henson exhibit at the Smithsonian, where we got the Kermit puppet. That was very cute. Oh, we didn't really mention the art here. The art is by Larry Stroman, who I really liked his art throughout this. I don't think I've read anything of his before, but it's good art. And the boy, that Kermit puppet really popped. I like that.
It's great.
Yeah. Then the X Factor team is there, and they decide we're gonna knock them all unconscious to get them to reabsorb, and they knock them all unconscious, but they're not disappearing because the originals, I guess, are still fighting. Strong Guy is now also like hearing stuff on the news, like the newscasters are like, oh, the mutant fighting, and he's like, hey, we're tired of being called mutants. We prefer genetically challenged, or GCs. And it's like, okay,
What?
I don't know. No.
Again, I'm drawing the line on a lot of this issue.
Yep. Professor Big Chalker is making his giant robot, but he can't fit in it.
Genetically challenged? They're not deficient. They're Homo superior. They're everything
genetically
else,
superior.
Oh, yeah. Look, our genetics are a little weak because we can shoot fire out of our eyeballs. That's not.
I like the punks who think that Madrox is the Rocketeer. They're like, wait, I didn't get a chance to say how hot Jennifer Connelly was.
So in this world, they made a Rocketeer. In the Marvel Universe, they made,
right.
In 1990, 1991, they made a superhero movie about a dude with a rocket pack.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy they made it in our universe, Vince.
Oh,
so
I mean, I love Tim Dalton in it. It's great.
I think it's a great movie, but it's crazy they were like, you know what people love about Batman 1989? It's the 1930s of it all.
Yep.
That's the secret sauce, is people love the 1930s.
I never saw The Rocketeer, actually. It looked boring. I think I tried to watch it.
He doesn't Rocketeer enough, I'll tell you that, because it's a 90s superhero movie.
It's actually really good. I think it's Joe Johnson who directed the first Captain America movie, and he directed a few other good movies. I think it's very fun because like one of the bad guys has like a henchman that's basically coded as Frankenstein, and then the villain of the movie is basically coded as Errol Flynn, like as a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah, because it's Timothy Dalton, former James Bond, right? Is like
yes,
the world's most famous actor, but actually a Nazi. Yeah.
Yes,
Great.
and then he had played an Errol Flynn impersonator in at least one other thing. I guess Flash Gordon, something else. But it's pulpy and stupid, and the worst thing is probably the main character. But Jennifer Connelly is also there, which Roger Ebert, his review is embarrassing how much he is lusting after her.
I saw her in Labyrinth, and now she's an adult.
She's grown into a woman. Whoa. But yes, it's a fun movie. Check it out, Kia.
All right. One day. How does it compare to Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow? Also set in the 30s.
It's got colors.
Question. I would say it's a little better, but I like both. I love adventure movies. I love, like, we've covered it for the podcast, but I love The Phantom with Billy Zane.
Slam Evil. That movie's great.
I think it's a lot of fun.
It
like
is.
I like all of those movies.
Yeah, I feel like it's in that 30s pulp of 90s of like The Mummy. The Mummy's also a lot of fun. Like all those those movies are The Mummy and The Phantom and Rocketeer. Yeah, that's a good triple feature.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that if you ever run like an independent theater for like the weekend before it closes, like show that.
I am running an independent theater tomorrow for one day.
Oh wow. Oh, but this is
And I
coming
haven't
out
picked my movies
after. This
yet.
is coming out after that happens. Oh, y'all missed
Oh
it.
boy.
Y'all
Oh
missed it.
boy.
Sorry. If you are listening to this now, you missed my grand
All right.
opening of my
Well,
new theater that was a one day only.
Kia is showing a
Uh,
Serbian film and
uh,
what else? Some other
all right, all right.
difficult,
we
unfun
are gonna.
movies. Oh,
We got a lot of.
Woody Allen double feature.
Oh yeah, he loves his match
Oh,
point and his
God.
blue jasmine.
Yep. Let's keep going here. The team captures the two Jamies. They're knocked out or whatever, and they're locked up in like these chairs that cover them completely so that they can't make more multiples. They don't have a telepath on the team to figure out who's lying, so they need to get a polygraph test. And basically, this other Jamie is claiming like, "Hey, I made a dupe so that I could just kind of like run off and be on my own for a little while." And this dude has like gained independence, I guess. So then we see a dude in the shadows, the real dude in the shadows, who says it's all going to plan. Whose public image will I shatter next? And he sets his sights on Strong Guy. But I'm gonna tell y'all now, the second dude in the shadows, not even our real dude in the shadows. We got a third dude in the shadows who's coming up here, so we gotta wait for it. On to issue 74. Overnight, Rain Wolfsbane shows up in Alex's room because he was like crying out apparently, and he's like, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" Quicksilver is also tossing and turning, thinking about Crystal from the Inhumans. That's his love,
Ex-wife.
his ex-wife.
And the
Al.
father of his child.
Oh, okay, yeah. Havoc is telling Lorna that Rain has a crush on him, and Lorna's like, I'm gonna talk to her about that. The
Then she
lie
gets
detector
hit in the head with a ball.
Yeah, so she's like, wait, she did what? She showed up in the middle of the night in your bed? Yeah, they're playing like racquetball or something.
The pickleball of
The
the '90s.
pickleball of the '90s. The lie detector is ready, so they start to get everyone organized. We see our dude in the shadows, who might be called Ricochet. He's talking to another dude who is in the shadows, but he's got the Mr. Sinister gem on his head in the shadows. So I'm like, I think this dude in the shadows is Mr. Sinister.
Some sort of Mr. Sinister shaped guy.
Yeah. And we also learned that this Ricochet fellow is a senator. Okay. I feel like Ricochet is not a common enough word for it to come up as often as it does in these comics here, but we'll get to that.
Ricochet does
what is
sound
this,
like a '90s X-Men character, though.
What is this, AEW?
Hey.
Heyo.
Yeah, there's a wrestler named Ricochet as well. It's not that guy, different guy. Ricochet is not a senator.
Yeah, this Ricochet is white.
Yeah, this Ricochet is white and he's a senator, whereas wrestler Ricochet is not a senator and he's not white. We get the polygraph guy who was Val Cooper's ex-husband. Okay. And then they've got an assistant hanging out in this house as well, Baldrick. Who's this guy? Anyways, he brings them a memo. Some lunatic has hostages at the Washington Monument and is crying out for Strong Guy. He wants Strong Guy. His guy is Slab. He's a giant meat-headed looking guy. I've never heard of Slab in my life. Honestly, any of the rogues we meet throughout this, I've never seen him.
He's one of the Nasty Boys. We all know
The
the
Nasty Boys. We're gonna meet the rest of the Nasty Boys soon, but he is
because they got
to. So a Strong Guy and Slab fight around while Pietro looks for a bomb that might be planted in the monument. Meanwhile, at the polygraph
Pietro
test,
collapses for no reason.
Oh yeah, because he's too overexerted, I guess, from his powers. The polygraph test, they identify the new plainclothes Jamie as the real one with a 98% probability. And he tells some story about coconut groves, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Moira McTaggart, she can confirm that." And they're like, "All right, yeah, we'll go call her." And the original Multiple Man that's in costume is like, "Oh, I don't remember nothing of that." But they're leaving, and he's like screaming out, like, "Oh, it's got to be a trick. This isn't true. I'm the real one." Uh, then let's see, Strong Guy and Slab are fighting, and Strong Guy accidentally breaks the Washington Monument in half and then falls over. Oh boy.
Is that Marvel canon that the Washington Monument has been destroyed by
They
Strong
I mean, they
repair it.
probably rebuilt it, you know.
exactly as before?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
Just like at the end of Superman, they just fuse them together, and it just sort of barely fits.
Yep. And then Slab runs away, and Senator Stephen Shaffron shows up and wants them
Boo.
arrested for destroying the Washington Monument. This is our evil Senator Ricochet. Okay.
Senator Ricochet.
Now on to issue 75. It's a giant size issue. Slab is talking to the other nasty boys in the hideout, and Mr. Sinister comes in, and he's like, "Hey, where's Ruckus and Ramrod?" And they're like, "Oh, they went on a beer run." It's like, okay. Back at the regular team, Strong Guy is unhappy about being humiliated with destroying the Washington Monument. He wants to quit, but they talk him out of it. We see Ruckus and Ramrod shaking down a convenience store to get some beer, and they also beat up some cops. I've never seen Ruckus or Ramrod before, but I really like them. I would read a whole comic of just Ruckus and Ramrod going around.
I think they were in the X-Men cartoon. I don't remember though.
Were they? God, I like them. Moira McTaggart is on the phone. She confirms the new Jamie's story that there was some Coconut Grove thing. So the new Jamie absorbs this old dupe and says he's leaving. And the team is like, well, hey, even though we offered it to your dupe to join the team, the offer is still open for you to join X Factor. He's like, nah, I'm a loner. I don't want to. So he goes to Val Cooper's ex-husband, the polygraph guy, who's also leaving around this time. And he goes to that guy's car, and it was really Mr. Sinister in the car. What? But we just saw him at the Nasty Boys hideout. What's going on?
I like when Sinister says, like, if you all could stop high-fiving for a moment, in quotes.
Yes, that's later when they get back to the hideout. Yeah. Y'all can stop high-fiving for a moment.
Mr. Sinister doesn't. He's born in like 1850. He doesn't approve of high-fiving.
Nope. We also have a doctor who's checking out Pietro and is like, "You're physically fine. It's probably just stress." Okay. We meet. All right, yeah. Back at the Nasty Boys hideout, we meet the rest of the team. Hairbag, Gorgeous George, also not the wrestler Gorgeous George, a different guy. We got Ruckus and Ramrod and
for
Slab.
one thing.
Yeah. I love the name the Nasty Boys. Honestly, I think every comic should have a group of villains called the Nasty Boys.
Another, like, they were wrestlers first.
Yep.
Around this time, even.
Yep. All right, so we got the Senator also apparently has powers. Senator Ricochet has event manipulation powers that he's been using to cloud everyone's judgment and make things work. Something like that, like kind of very. I think he compares it to Scarlet Witch in this scene. It's like, okay,
Yes.
just kind of like, yeah, something like that.
And Madrox is like, if you have this power, why didn't you use it on the election? And he's like, I did. That's why he nominated Dan Quayle.
A good old Dan Quayle joke. I haven't heard one of those in a while. We got Vic Chalker and his giant robot. The power cells drain immediately because he made it too strong, and he can't figure out how to get out of it. Okay, I think that's the last time we see him in these issues. Lorna goes to talk to Rain, who calls her jealous and fat and all that stuff. All right. Then the others show up.
She's like, call me kiddo. I'm only 8 years younger than you. You're like, wait, how old are you, Rain?
Yeah. How old is everybody?
Like, because I get the sense that Alex is probably like 25 or 20, like in his 20s still. So
yeah.
if Rain is 8 years younger, that means she's a teenager.
I'm gonna say she's 19, and everyone else is like late 20s, kind of
like late 20s. Yeah, that could be. It's still her being like offended of being called kid. It's like, you are a kid. I'm sorry.
You are a kid. Then everyone else shows up, fills in Lorna on Pietro, and Lorna makes some massive leaps here. She's like, wait a minute. I think someone is turning our powers against us, ricocheting the abilities back. And that means we got to go find Multiple Man. Okay. I don't know how she got to this, but that's fine. Jamie is at the Nasty Boys hideout and he's in pain. He's like, what's going on inside me? And he kind of disappears and the original costumed Multiple Man pops out. And he's like, yeah, I was hiding inside this other dupe and I took control of him because I'm the real Multiple Man. And I know this guy's a fake. And he kind of fights his way out and Mr. Sinister lets him go, but he wants him monitored. He's like, I know he's going to the Capitol. And he is going to the Capitol. He wants to confront the senator. But the Nasty Boys are attacking him, so he's busy fighting them. But then the rest of X Factor shows up to help. And then Senator Ricochet shows up outside, and he's flying and using his powers. And he's like, oh, yeah, the American people will love me for my honesty. And he's kind of fighting them. But that's actually Mr. Sinister, and the original senator is tied up. And the senator shoots Mr. Sinister, but it ricochets off his suit and kills the senator. Oh my god. A lot of ricochets in this book. How ironic. And that's where that book ends. So the whole team is together. We got the real Multiple Man.
I do like that the bullet goes through the senator's forehead like Mr. Sinister's dot.
Oh, yeah. What are Mr. Sinister is not a mutant, right?
Well, he kind of is, right?
He steals mutant genetics. That's his deal.
Yeah, because he was a mutant from like the 18 whatevers. So like he kind of is a mutant.
How is he making himself look like everybody?
Yeah, he's like a mutant / a vampire. I think he's kind of both.
Yeah. How's he making himself look like everyone?
Well, he has control of his genetic material because
okay,
he can control himself.
That's fine.
Like, remember in the cartoon when like he gets blasted into little chunks and he just starts putting himself back together?
I don't remember that at all.
And then he's like, he says like, the future cannot be defeated so easily. And Jean Grey is like, yes, it can. And just like takes the pieces of him and just throws them. Honestly, their telekinesis.
This might be one of the first Mr. Sinister comics I've actually read, because I feel like I remember him from the cartoons and like the new X-Men 97 cartoon, but I don't remember reading him in anything. Wait, was he in Age of Apocalypse?
He is, yeah. He's Apocalypse's like scientist.
All right, fair enough. I have read a Mr. Sinister comic. Okay.
He was he was like Alex and Scott's father in those books, like because they were evil in that world.
The more I look at this name, because I've typed it out for my notes and everything, the name Mr. Sinister is really stupid. It's really fucking stupid.
What?
Okay.
I think it's
so.
He should be a doctor. You're right. He should be Dr. Sinister.
Dr. Sinister. How do we feel? Which one is stupider, Mr. Sinister or Sinestro?
I think Sinestro is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister is pretty outrageous.
Yeah.
I think he's
okay. Please, Mr. Sinister was my father. Call me Sinestro.
Yes, exactly.
Imagine if Dr. Doom was Mr. Doom. You know. Like
he had to get that doctorate.
And he was the original. Mr. Sinister was the original guy in the shadows. Like, what does he do exactly?
Honestly, hold on. Mr. Sinister does so much more like doctoring kind of stuff with genetics than Dr. Doom does. Dr. Doom barely does any doctoring.
Yeah, well, he has. I mean, he got his PhD, so he's
fine.
a doctor.
That's fine. I'm just saying, Mr. Sinister should be.
But he's using his advanced degree more than Dr. Doom, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mr. Sinister was in X-Men Apocalypse for like a hot second at the very end, or like the Essex Corporation was, and I think John Hamm was supposed to play him in New Mutants.
Yeah, you're talking about New Mutants, right?
No, well, the Essex Corporation's in the stinger scene of X-Men Apocalypse also.
Is it in X-Men Apocalypse? Because that's they set up for John Hamm being in New Mutants, and then he's not in New Mutants.
Interesting.
Wow.
They fully just don't have him. Which I mean, if you want to watch that, just watch Sucker Punch, where John Hamm is a evil psychiatrist or whatever who does a lobotomy on characters who think they're superheroes in a school. It's basically the same thing.
All right.
It has what's his name, Moon Knight himself.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac
Who
is
played
in
Apocalypse.
Still never watched that show.
And Spider-Man 2099. Man, it is an Oscar Isaac episode.
Yes, and he's Apocalypse as well.
Yeah.
How is he everybody?
Apocalypse was created for X Factor, by the way.
Yes, created by Walt and Louise Simonson.
Yep. Whoa.
Anyway, now
so
for
that's
the stupidest issue.
It's time for Rain and Stimpy.
So yeah, we also skipped forward 12 issues to read the psychiatry issue of X Factor. X Factor number 87, where every member of the team is undergoing just like some therapy. Because I guess something happened. Maybe Professor X almost died, and the government liaison is like, you all got to do therapy. We start with a Rain and Stimpy. Rain and Simpy.
Simpy, yes.
Simpy. When did the term simp come into popularity, and was it a thing here?
Right?
It does feel wild. From like 1992, they're making this joke.
For real. I think Simpy here is just a coincidence. But the Ren and Stimpy.
Simp is like, I don't even know.
I don't know.
I mean, that's what the Simpsons. That's why they're called the Simpsons. Like simp is right there. They're supposed to be stupid. I do like Rain is the Stimpy of X Factor, and so it's funny that she's the Ren in this parody.
Well, her name just happens to be closer to that.
Yeah, it is closer. She's like, no, you stupid fool.
Yeah. So she's having dreams where she's in cartoons, or she's in Rain's World, or Rain Man, or other things like that. She was or in the Rain and Stimpy one, she's what's the song that she's singing? Mutant angst mutant angst mutant angst mutant angst.
That's the happy choice, right?
Yeah,
of their world.
Good stuff. But she's seeing a psychiatrist talking about her issues here. And we basically go through every member of the team. They all get a few pages here, talking about their issues and whatever. Rain's whole deal is that she still loves Alex and kind of has a thing with authority figures. Like, she likes to follow the rules and maybe likes authority figures. Quicksilver, he's a giant asshole because he makes this analogy of like, hey, have you ever been like in line somewhere and the person in front of you is just like the slowest fucking person ever? Well, like, that's my whole life, and so I'm just agitated all the time.
I liked that metaphor.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love it. I love his look too. He's wearing like a suit with a tie, but then he's wearing like high tops because he has to run around. It's a great look.
It is a good
look.
look.
It is a good look. I don't mind it.
The art for this is by Joe Quesada, future editor.
Oh, yeah, we didn't
mention.
Yeah, Joe Quesada. I actually really like Joe Quesada's art. I think he's got he shows a lot of range in this issue here.
He really does. Because did he do the Daredevil with Kevin Smith also? That's probably where
he did, yes.
Yeah. It's one of the things we always point out on the show here, but I was looking at these panels of Lorna with these like wrapped candies like on her top left, and that continues for 3 panels in a row, but they are all like drawn differently and independently. Like, the candies don't lay the exact same way in every panel.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is like, you actually drew these 3 times. That's cool.
Yep. Take note, Mark Bagley.
What's
just kidding? We're talking about him in Thunderbolts. We love Mark Bagley, but
we love Mark Bagley.
He does do a
lot of copying. Lorna's whole deal is that she's very smart, has a hard time kind of like speaking up about things, and also everyone's been calling her fat, so she's super like paranoid about it. Um, we've
Is
got
she fat right now? Is that what we're supposed to think?
No,
no,
it's
we're not
it's
supposed
more
to
that
think
it's
she's
more that
fat.
she's insecure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we learn about Strong Guy's past and how he got to be a hero and how he's like literally in constant pain because every time he gets punched, he like his body like grows bigger or something like that.
Unless he punches somebody else. I guess he like builds up kinetic energy like Black Panther does, but he's got to let it out quickly or else it becomes permanently part of his body.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically like he has like cancer in his body whenever he's
Mm-hmm.
hit by stuff because he's just growing.
We've got Multiple Man who just really doesn't want to be alone at any point. And we've got Alex Summers who is just kind of like feeling like he can't live up to being a leader, can't live up to his brother's shadow, all that kind of stuff. And then Lorna comes back in at the end of this and he's like, hey, just heads up. I've lost 15 pounds. Also, I'm really sexy. And the therapist like dropped his pen. Like, whoa. It's
She's
okay.
like in the costume like Stunner wore in that Spider-Man Web of Death for our like zero-ish episode of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Stunner, Dr. Octopus's bondage girlfriend. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And then Val Cooper comes in and is talking to the therapist and is like, yeah, I know everything about all these members of the team, and basically just says the opposite of what they all said.
It's just like, yeah, Rain's not in love with Alex. Lorna's fine.
Yeah. Pietro's snotty for no reason. Guido feels no pain. Jamie is a loner. Alex is totally confident as a leader, is totally grown into it. And then she leaves. I don't know what were these vine tentacle things that grabbed her afterwards? Are we supposed to know what that was, or is that part of the last issue, part of the next issue? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it'll be part of the next issue.
Yeah, something like
I
that.
don't know.
But we see that the psychiatrist was Leonard Sampson the whole time, Doc Sampson. And he's singing Mutant Mutant Angst Angst on the way out. And we get our little credits at the end with I think we mentioned this last time, but all the people who worked on this, like Peter David, General Practice, Joe Quesada, Doctor of Gynecology, okay, Tom DeFalco, Doctor of Proctology. Great. Yeah, everyone's got a thing.
Yep.
And that's the end of that issue. Hooray!
Yep. This is famously just kind of one-off issue, which Peter David leaves the book not long after this issue because he gets annoyed that they're constantly being like, "Oh, Wolverine's in next month's issue. We're having a big crossover."
Did I read correctly? He left Marvel for several years after this.
I mean, I know he's doing Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, I guess that's
I
true.
don't know when he leaves that book, but yeah, he goes to DC in the 90s.
And then came back for in the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But he's a great writer. This is a good comic, good series.
It's a really good comic. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to go to final thoughts?
Yeah, go to final thoughts, Vince.
I mean, I think it's a really good team book. I think that it establishes all of its characters really well. I think it finds characters that bounce well off of each other. I really like Multiple Man. I think like he's got a lot going on. I think possibly because he's very jokey, but then he has like a little bit of pathos underneath. And I feel like they go to that well a lot. And I really like him out of the mask because he has a very distinctive haircut that you can tell who Multiple Man is all the time because he's just a regular white dude with brown hair. Like that's all he is, right? But they managed to make it like so when you see multiple duplicates of him, you're like, yep, that's a Madrox, that's a Multiple Man. Got it. And so I hate when they put him like in a mask or that head thing, like take away like his most distinctive feature, is his brown hair, which is kind of like a weird cut. And I think like the silhouettes work for all the characters. Like I like Lorna's look a lot. I love that the green hair. It's just really, really cool. I feel like Alex maybe got kind of lost in the shuffle for me, but I like Strong Guy and I like Multiple Man and I like Lorna and I like Rain. I feel like everybody, it's a good team book. I just want to hang out with these characters more than I care about whatever plot they're facing, which I feel is what you want in like kind of like a serialized, like team book, is you like the characters. So I like this a lot. I thought this was really well done.
Chris?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I read, I don't think I started with 71. I was reading X Factor when Peter David was still writing it, and I stuck with it for honestly way too long when it got really, really bad. Once Forge becomes the leader and Mystique is part of the team, and it gets much, much worse. But like I loved this as like a jumping on point, and I think it's incredible how well, like, it's for having we didn't read that issue, but there is a Wayne's World parody that she references in the psychiatry issue. Like, it has Ren and Stimpy parodies. It references The Simpsons, but I'm like, this is still funny. Like, this is, I appreciate the humor of it, and I think it still works. Like, this is, in a way, it's a reaction to Keith Giffen, and I forget the other person who did the Justice League International as sort of like a funny book in the 80s, like early 90s.
Kevin
like
Monroe?
This is kind of a Marvel version of that kind of idea of like, well, because they'd already had a government-sponsored super team. They had been like Mystique's evil, like government squad or whatever. I forget what they were even called. But this was like, oh, we're going to have like an official government team. And so we can have this stuff that DC usually has, where we have like a handler. We have like public-facing, debuts where we have to name the characters, like and so I think it works in the context of when it came out, but I think it holds up really well.
I enjoyed it quite a bit as well. Overall, just a lot of fun, a good read. Again, I don't care too much about the overarching like other plot of whatever they're dealing with, but it's just fun to see the characters kind of like, growing and changing and getting to know each other, all that. But yeah, fun comic to read. Anything else to say about it before we jump on to Thunderbolts?
A really good 90s comic. Also, I just want to say real quickly, X Factor 1 was drawn by Jackson Butch Guice, who also passed away at the beginning of the year. He was a Captain America Brubaker artist. It was really good. So,
yep, another great artist.
Yeah.
Who unfortunately I have not met. I have met the creators of Apocalypse, both Louise Simonson and Walt Simonson, and I have met Mark Bagley, who we're about to talk about.
Excellent.
Hey, all right, let's talk about some Mark Bagley. So on to Thunderbolts number 24. We start with some talking heads on the news, talking about our last issue, about how
did we get here? And this is not their beautiful wife.
What?
You said talking heads. So.
Oh, I see. No, they're talking about how Hawkeye said he was going to go after the Masters of Evil in the last issue, and they're like, oh, well, that's pretty good. Meanwhile, the Thunderbolts are all fighting each other. Well, they're all really fighting Charcoal, who just joined the team in the last issue.
The Burning Man.
Charcoal, the Burning Man. And Hawkeye shows up to see this fight, and he's like, hey, everybody stop. What the fuck? And apparently in the middle of the night, Charcoal really needed to go to the bathroom, had to step over Songbird to go, and Songbird woke up and thought he was attacking her, so a whole fight broke out. Also, they don't really trust Charcoal yet because he just joined the team literally yesterday, and then they all went to bed. And Hawkeye's like, hey, he gets the same benefit of the doubt that y'all do. And I'm not sure about that, because Hawkeye, you kind of spied on them for a little while and saw them prove that they were good. You don't know anything really about Charcoal, but okay.
It's true.
But we get a little bit of backstory from Charcoal about how his family moved around a lot. His dad could never really find his place, and they kind of like got swept up in that whole Imperial Forces thing that did some genetic testing on him and turned him into Charcoal.
Wow, he's sucked into fascism. That's sad to hear about.
Yep, it just happens sometimes. You get sucked into fascism.
Yep.
And then Hawkeye's like, wait a minute, I gotta interrupt your backstory. We got something on the news here. I've set up a Google alert for any time the Masters of Evil get mentioned, so we gotta go deal with it.
I do like that Jolt is like, wait. Did he have like a robot head? Was he a robot man?
Oh yeah, he said yeah, it was a guy without a head who was experimenting on me, which is Arnim Zola, who's the same guy who experimented on Jolt. So she's like, yeah, she wants to know more about it.
He's like, I
But
don't know. They never like said his name. I just saw like
yeah.
a weird robot head.
Yep. So they head to some town where they see the Master of Evil causing a bunch of chaos, and they attack them. Hawkeye tries to like put a tracker on the back of what's the tiger guy's name? Man Tiger? Tiger Man? It's neither of those.
It might be Man Tiger. I don't know.
It might be Man Tiger. There's a tiger guy on the Masters of Evil, but Hawkeye like tries to put a tracker on his back. And the what's her name? The Crimson Cowl. She shows up and is
Yes.
like, hey, come on, you think I'm stupid? And takes the tracker off of the back, and they also get out of there. It was really just a distraction to trap them in a big old tornado that they have created somehow. And this tornado is going to destroy this town. So the Thunderbolts step in to kind of save all the people there. And while they're dealing with that, Hawkeye gets attacked by Citizen V, who we've been kind of seeing swooping around.
That's
this
Baron
is
Zemo, though, right?
Nope. No. This is the granddaughter of the original Citizen V, who is reclaiming the heritage and is going after Baron Zemo and the Thunderbolts for ruining everything. And Citizen V tells Hawkeye, like, hey, you're linked up with the Thunderbolts. You better not, because I'm going after them. And Hawkeye gives a pretty nice little speech about how, like, hey, there's a actual real thing happening where real innocent lives are in danger. I'm going to go help them. So whatever you're dealing with, like, forget it, because whatever you stand for, like, it's bullshit if you don't help these people. So Citizen V goes and finds I guess she's talking to somebody on her comm, and finds the device that's creating the tornado and destroys it, while the rest of the Thunderbolts keep everybody safe. And everyone's like, oh, they're heroes. And also, Charcoal used the same tracking trick again, where he broke off a piece of his coal and put it in somebody's shoulder straps. Man Killer's shoulder straps, yeah. So they're going to be heading over there to find their lair. So they go do that. And Hawkeye's like, hey, this is a really nice lair they got here. And the rest of the team is like, what does that matter? It's like, well, we're going to beat the Masters of Evil, so we might as well take their lair when we're done, because we don't have one. Like, all right, yeah, not a bad idea. And they are surprised when they see a room with the Crimson Cowl giving a speech to 25 supervillains. They got more Masters of Evil. They got a ton of members. And they're like, oh, shit. What are we going to do? So next issue 25, double-sized issue where they fight 25 supervillains. Cool. And that's it. Did I miss anything? I didn't take notes. I was just kind of recapping as I flipped through here.
So one thing is that Citizen V does get knocked out by a person in the shadows. We don't see what happens.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's important to keep in mind for what's going to happen next issue.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And anything else to say about it?
Nope.
No. It's still, the book is still a fun read, but compared to the first 12 issues, it is definitely just moving a lot more slowly. We're still on the fence about continuing it or not, but look, 25 supervillains, issue 25, double side. We got to at least do the next one, right?
Right.
So we're going to do that. Yeah. We're doing that, and then that might be the last one we do, and then probably another long read, unless that issue is so damn good that we have to keep going. I don't know. It's possible.
We'll let Busiek tell us.
We are gonna text Kurt Busiek and ask him what we should do for our next long read. It's either gonna be more Thunderbolts or
We're gonna read
Or
Trinity.
Astro
Astro
City.
City.
Oh, Trinity. I was thinking about Trinity or 52. No, well, like, did Busiek write Trinity?
He was at least the co-writer. I forget if he did every.
'Cause Bagley
That
was the
one of
artist.
those weekly things.
We could probably.
I've never read Trinity. I don't know
Neither
if it's
have
good
I.
at all.
I don't think I read like the first issue and I was like, I don't care. I tried 52. Like in terms of like those weekly comics, like I get like maybe like 10 issues and I'm like, this is too much. I don't care anymore. I liked Batman Eternal. I thought that one actually was pretty good. And then of course Injustice. We should go back to Injustice sometime.
one of these days. Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Anything else to say about this Thunderbolt issue?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, it's just a lot more kind of setting up to the big next issue. We're getting a little bit more like hints about what's going on, but this is kind of a weaker issue. I will say, you said this year's been a little weaker than the first. It's just, the first 12 issues were incredibly good.
Yeah.
I think once we got back from that alien planet, it's been much better. Those
Definitely,
couple of issues were bad.
Yeah.
But once we got back, I'm like, this is still like a B+, A- book. Like
It still
good.
is, right. And it is very much, I feel like it's a book where you're just kind of waiting for the cliffhanger because that's kind of the best part of every issue. But still a fun time. What are we doing next time? Where are my notes at? Did we figure out what we're doing next time?
Yeah. We're going to do more X Factor.
X Factor. We are doing more X Factor by Peter David, but not this same run. We are doing the 2005 reboot, volume 3, where they brought it back with most of the same team. I think Quicksilver's not there, and they got somebody else instead.
Alex isn't there. Yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Well, Quicksilver's not there either, right? Well, actually, maybe he is a minor character.
I feel like Quicksilver shows up in one of the arcs and be like, "Oh yeah," because it's weird. It's not a superhero book; it's a noir book.
Yeah, it's the era when Quicksilver like has absorbed the inhuman mists and is like giving people mutant powers.
You mean the Terrigen mists?
Yes, of course.
Of course. Come on.
Not the mist.
Oh wait, what is he doing? Wait, what is he doing?
He like takes a bunch of the Terrigen mists and is like giving them to people so that they get powers. Because he's like turned evil in the mid 2000s.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember something about that. Okay. Also, I don't know. Have we said it out loud? Did you pronounce it Terrigen mists?
I don't know.
I've said
I don't know.
Terrigen, but I don't care.
I've always heard, like, I've only ever thought of it as Terrigen, and just hearing Terrigen is blowing my mind a little bit because that might be it. You know, I have no idea.
The Tarragon and Oregano mists.
Game of Thrones pronouncing every character's name has messed me up for just distrusting all of my instincts.
Yeah.
He wasn't Jaime Lannister? I don't even understand it.
He wasn't Magneto? What?
Magneto.
Magneto.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're reading X Factor. So I remember I did not know the X Factor 90s run ever happened. I just know that out after House of M, X Factor Peter David, and I remember people always being like, the 90s run is really great. It's completely different. We should read that. And finally now I've read it, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty darn good. It's completely different than the 2000s run, which I liked a lot. It came off of like a Madrox miniseries, which we're not reading. And we're going to be reading, I don't know if we said explicitly, issues 1 through 6 of the 2005 X Factor Volume 3, which somehow ran What? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is wild that the '90s run is like 20 issues,
right,
and that the 2000s run is like 100.
114 issues before, which I don't think any Marvel book makes it to 114 issues, even in the mid 2000s before being
all
restarted.
by Peter David.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think he wrote the whole book until they relaunched it with Gambit in like the Marvel Now or whatever in like 2013. Yeah.
Which I mean that's on the cover of one of the first X Factor 71 also, that all new, all different, but it's not the title of the book. Yeah, and they ended up going back to the original numbering, so it gets canceled after like issue 262. But it's like 100 something issues that it's crazy.
It looks like it had some various writers. John Moore, Howard Mackey, I'm seeing at the end here.
Okay.
I'm clicking through the wikias to see when did it end? 122, 123. This thing keeps on going.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Well, Wikipedia has X Factor Volume 3, X Factor Investigations. It is
Oh,
after
hold on.
issue
I'm
262.
looking at volume 1. Sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't forget everything I said. It's a lie.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Want some GLAAD awards? Should be good.
Yeah. So we're doing that next time, and Thunderbolts number 25. What do we got to plug? Chris, how's the Your Stupid Minds podcast doing? Y'all
It's
watching more New Mutants?
You can check out previous episode New Mutants. It's a classically bad movie, believe it or not.
It's a good episode though.
It is a good episode. Wolfsbane is a character in it. If you like Arya Stark's actor, she's plays Wolfsbane, and I think that's perfect casting. And I think most of the casting in that movie is good. It's just that the villain is bad and the movie is boring. Other than that, though, we haven't done anything since Lawnmower Man 2 Beyond Cyberspace. You can also check out, we in August, at the beginning of the month, covered War of the Worlds, which now every bad movie podcast has covered because it is very bad. But we reviewed it first. Ice Cube reacts in a what do you call those movies? Like Unfriended, where it's all like on the screen.
It's like found footage, but it's on it's of his screen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those
COVID movies. There was like a horror movie like Host that did a similar thing where it was like a Zoom call. Yeah.
Yes, and this is secretly a COVID movie. It's just they put it out in 2025. It's a lot of fun to talk about. So check that one out if you haven't already.
Great. Vince, what do you got?
I've got nothing. I got nothing to plug today.
Nothing?
I made a TikTok of one of my target birds. Her name was Bonita. The featherly friends. I'm obsessed with the target birds, but I understand that people don't like target right now, but I do love those birds, so it's a conflict of interest, I know. But I do have a TikTok about it. That's my first TikTok I've made like in a month and a half. Go check it out, Cool Uncle Vince. It's 8 seconds long. It's really good.
Target sells birds now?
They have these little toy birds called the Featherly Friends, and they each have a little name on them, like a Beanie Baby. And I collect them. They're seasonal. There are 11 Halloween birds this year. I just got Bonita. She's adorable. Featherly Friends Halloween. You can Google it, or you can just go to Cool Uncle Vince on TikTok and see my bird, all 8 seconds of it. It's great.
Wow.
So
pretty cute birds.
They are really cute. I have a whole bin of them. I collect them for Halloween. I have Christmas ones. I have for summer. I have some for Pride Month. I have a whole mess of birds. The Featherly Friends. But yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you. That's what I'm plugging. My TikTok to look at my 8-second bird video.
We got to change your name to Good Wing.
Oh, that's a good one too. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Kia, what you got?
What am I plugging? I watched that new Superman movie.
Yeah,
pretty good.
I did too.
Speaking
That
of
was really good.
JLI, I thought it was pretty cute. It was fun. I liked Mr. Terrific, who's a character who I don't think we've ever mentioned on this show, and I don't think anyone's ever mentioned him ever. Yeah. But he's a good character.
That movie balances so many characters. Like Metamorpho has like a couple scenes that I'm like, oh, this is really good, and then he like leaves the movie, and then Mr. Terrific shows up and is like Superman's guy in the chair, and it's really good. It's just it's pleasant.
Metamorpho.
He was the guy who created the kryptonite out of his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, is that his name? I thought that was.
He looks like Deadman. He's got the similar colors to him. Mm-hmm. He's played by NoHo Hank from Barry.
Yes.
And
Alan Tudyk is the robot guy who is.
What a movie! Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor. It's delightful. I liked it a lot. I was very happy with Superman.
The name Metamorpho, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But
he does metamorphize his body.
When I was watching it, I remember just thinking, oh, that must be this character who's maybe like, I don't even know what name I gave him to myself. Because did they name him in the movie? Did they ever call him Metamorpho?
They call him.
They called him Metamorpho. but I don't pronounce it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I liked it. I
It's
didn't
cute.
love it. I know some people loved it. I thought it was fine.
I thought it was fine as well. I did think Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner was quite good. I think the Justice Gang was the best part of the movie. I think a Justice Gang movie should be on the table.
Yeah, Hawkgirl was played by Aranya from Madam Web, which is also a good episode. Of
Wow.
Wow. Bring it all together.
Look at her. She's in both universes. Yeah, I also saw Fantastic Four. It's the best adaptation of Fantastic Four we've ever had.
It's faint
Okay,
praise
I got to check that
of
one.
the four. That's it's number one.
It beats the 90s version, I guess. I don't even know what was number 2. Maybe the 2000s Jessica Alba version might have been number 2.
R.I.P. Dr. Doom. He just passed away too. Julian McMahon.
Oh yeah. So it's better than that.
Should have called it Fantastic One. Because it's number 1.
Fantastic
They should have. You're right, Keith.
First Steps is a subtitle. Yeah.
When are they going to make a Fantastic 5? I've been dying for a sequel.
That's when Franklin's going to be part of the team.
Yes, yeah. But my other plug is Silksong. Go play that game because it's great. Yeah. But you two got to go play Hollow Knight first.
Yes.
I can't
just
believe
us two. Our listeners can.
I don't care about the listeners right now. I am talking to Chris and Vince. Go play Hollow Knight.
Okay.
Thank you. I think that's everything. Are we done? Is there anything else to say?
You gotta tell the listeners
Vince,
you love them after you told them
no,
you don't care about them.
First, Vince, I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Chris, I love you.
Oh no, I'm being absorbed into myself by this other guy who looks like me with worse hair.
Well, sounds like he's dealing with his own thing. That's got nothing to do with me.
Well, Kia, Vince, I'm ready to talk about the podcast.
Let's
talk about X Factor.
That's he doesn't remember anything.
No,
I just sat down. We're starting a little late, but that's okay.
Yeah. We're ricocheting back an hour and a half into whatever. Listeners, don't give a shit about you. Fuck off. All right, bye.
I do love you though.